Hey, what's up guys? My name's Cale Rock. I'm a surfer and a filmmaker. I've traveled the world for the last 10 years as a surfer, documenting the experience, and I've picked up a few insider tips and tricks on which gear you should bring with you on the road. Let me talk about that today. Okay, we'll start off with the surf-specific gear, then we'll move into a bit of personal care, health while you're on the road, and then we'll go into digitals, electronics after that. The first thing that you want to consider bringing is some spare sets of fins. So I like to particularly focus on a spare set of fins that's going to be applicable across my entire quiver. So that means for me just a standard thruster set. So this is a medium futures thruster set. That goes in pretty much all my boards, even my mid-length here. I like to ride as a 2+1, but it also goes really well as a thruster. I also have a quad with me, which I use quite regularly, so I bring a spare set of quads and also some twins as well, which help out with this board. They're super lean and thin, so you can just keep them in the bottom of your suitcase, no problem. Alongside those fins, you want to have a few fin keys. I like to keep a few of these on hand, so I'll keep one in my bag here, one on my person, and then one in with the fins, just in case you end up losing one. It'd be pretty much a nightmare if you were out on a boat about to go surfing and you can't find one of these. Pretty frustrating experience. The next thing that we'll look at are leggy strings. So these are really helpful, of course, to keep you attached to your board via the leg rope, but they're also something that if you snap or lose can be quite an inconvenience. So just having a couple of those around is a good idea. They also act as good luggage ties, so you can chuck them through zips as well to keep things a little bit more secure. I like to keep all those things together. The next thing we'll go into are some tights. So for the last 5 or 6 years, I've been wearing these short runners, okay, running tights, yoga tights, whatever you want to call them, under my board shorts to stop getting rash on your legs, on your manly parts. It's pretty helpful to not have rash there. So the leggings work really well in that respect. Now, when I was in Nicaragua, one of my students came along and he had leggings, like long ones. And I had a bit of an emotional reaction. I was like, no, not cool enough. I'm not gonna go that far. But after several weeks of getting my calves roasted to a crisp, I thought, okay, there's actually something in this. So I went out and bought some long leggings, runner's leggings, and have worn them on this trip, and they've been super, super comfy, have stopped all calf burn, obviously, and also stopped that little bit of extra rash that you get on your knee because the short leggings tend to stop just above the knee. So overall, they've been really good. It's all about extending comfortable surf time for me. And the next tool to help you do that is a good surf hat. So this is our TSR signature surf hat, one of 3 styles. This is a bucket hat, and basically this thing is the difference between a 2-hour surf and a 4-hour surf for me. When I wear this, buckle it up underneath, I don't get burnt on my neck, I don't get burnt on my face, and now that I've shaved my head, I don't get burnt on my head either. It really is a massive game changer. I see people go in because they're like, I feel I'm getting burnt, I'm really sunned out, and it's quite brutal being out there. This is a really handy thing to have in that, in your kit, in your toolkit. With these ones, you can flip them up when you're catching a wave, or if you're in the tube, little spirit fingers, you get the cuttlefish action at the back here, or you can pull them down to get the extra sun protection there. So these are very, very cool, available at the link in bio. On that same theme, we're going to talk about zinc now. You want a really good zinc. Don't just get any zinc. I remember going to Nicaragua and I didn't have this particular formula, which is my own formula, before Nicaragua. So I was driving up and down the coast in California looking for a good zinc. The problem was they were all really oily. The problem with them being oily is as soon as you get into hot water, they're going to run off and come off, and then they get on your clothes, on your boards. Ugh, how ugly is the surfboard with zinc all over it. This one here, because it has a high beeswax content, it doesn't do that. So this is my natural surf zinc, totally natural ingredients, cacao flavored, cacao base as well. And it doesn't come off, okay? It's sticky because of that high beeswax content, which means even here in the tropical climates, in Sumatra, for example, it stays on all day and you're not getting sunburnt. Really, really handy to have. Again, you can check that out in the description down below. And of course, we don't want to forget wax. You want a temperature appropriate wax. I tend to bring a couple of blocks of temperature appropriate wax wherever I'm going. So here in Sumatra, for example, just a couple of blocks of tropical wax to make sure that it stays on your board, doesn't melt. In colder climates, you can get away with a softer wax, so get that one there. That goes in with all the surf stuff. Now, where do you put all that? Okay, because a lot of people travel with their backpack and their suitcase, right, or their surfboard bag. But they forget about your day trips. So a lot of people end up bringing plastic bags or little totes and things like that, but they're not very organized, they're not very practical. So what I've started doing is I just got a quickie wet bag here, or a dry bag, whatever you want to call it, fold it up when it's empty at the bottom of my suitcase or the bottom of my board bag, and then it becomes a super handy day traveler. So I put all this stuff in the various pockets. I keep a tourniquet in there. You can put a first aid kit in there as well, which is another good thing to bring. And wet shit can go in there. Wet shit can go in there. You can put whatever you want in there. It's not going to matter. It's not where I'm putting my passport, my camera, my laptop, all those more expensive things. I don't want to use my backpack every day. I prefer to use this. This has been a really helpful addition to my travel kit quiver. Now, moving on from the surf specific stuff, we're going to go to personal care now. So this is where I throw things in to look after myself, to make sure that I'm healthy throughout the time that I'm away. Because we're traveling, we're going to naturally be introduced to various new microbes in that area, geo-specific microbes on the food, in the water, in the ocean, just in the air. This just is a natural part of a human being traveling to a new location. On that vein, I like to make sure that my gut health is a priority, to ensure that I'm well during the time that I'm away. So I like to take a probiotic every single night. So I'll take a teaspoon of this. It's a symbiotic, which means it has the pre and the probiotic. This is called ProGood. That's my favorite one. And then I also take some activated charcoal each night. This is something that should be, I think, kept in everyone's medicine cabinet. You'll find it in most hospitals as an anti-poison. Very, very effective at absorbing bad bacteria and clearing them from the system, and toxins as well. So I like to take that prophylactically when I'm away. And if I do get sick, which I don't tend to when I'm taking this, then I'll up the dose of that, or take a whole bunch of it and be well quite quickly. Of course, if you do get sick, go and seek some help. I'm not giving you any specific advice on that front. Then you want to talk about things like a natural mosquito repellent, just to minimize the risk of any mosquito-borne illnesses. The ones with DEET and stuff in them are pretty awful for you and the environment. So I like to use the natural ones with lots of lemongrass. Looking after your eyes. My eyes probably look a little bit stony baloney right now. That's not the case. They're actually just a little bit sun-fried from surfing all day yesterday and a little bit today. So I like to look after my eyes and try and reduce the risk of getting surfer's eye, so any pterygiums or anything like that, by putting a couple of drops in my eyes every single night. It also reduces that burnt feeling in your eyes, that irritation that you get from being in the salt water all day. This is a Weleda Calendula 4X eye drops. They're just herbal, so no chemicals or anything like that. Super, super safe, and I really have found a difference with using those with my eye health. Next thing is I bring some clove essential oil, just as an antibiotic, as an antibacterial, just to put on any cuts or anything if something happens, dry cuts generally. And it's also, it can double up as a good bite salve. So if I do get bitten by anything, then I'll put clove oil on it, generally clears up, at least stops the itching. Also going to bring my own water bottle. And that way I know where the water's coming from. I don't have to use any plastic or rely on plastic. I don't put the plastic in the sun and have all the BPAs and everything go straight into the water. Generally these days, most places will have a good filter or a reliable source of clean water for you to drink from and source your water from. So bringing your own is good for you and it's good for the planet as well. Okay, let's talk about technology now. So you can be a minimalist when you go away. For me, because I'm often working when I go away, and that often involves recording a lot of my experiences, I like to bring a few different versions of a camera. So this one here is just an action camera. It's an Osmo Action Cam. I've really enjoyed using this one because it's small, it's easy, it captures good audio, and it's not my phone. I like to leave my phone in the hotel or wherever, whatever, when I'm going out surfing. It's nice to disconnect. So having this, it's also waterproof, drop proof in this case, is a really good way to capture different moments. If I'm going in a pool, if I'm going in the ocean, I want to capture some tubes, whatever, this is really, really good. So having that has been quite helpful. The next thing, and this is something you mightn't have thought of, is if you haven't arranged a filmer, for example, and there's no one to take photos or anything like that, and you want to gather some footage, whether it's just to analyze your own surfing or capture the experience that you're having, I like to set this camcorder up because it can record for longer than 30 minutes. That's a restriction you'll have on any DSLR cameras. And you can record your whole session. So for example, here in the house, I can set this camera up on the balcony up there, overlooking the surf, set it up on the right-handers, for example, go and surf for 2 hours, come in, and I've got the whole session there. That's really handy if you're into that sort of thing. The camcorder vibe is also kind of cool nowadays. It seems to be coming back in where you can capture little moments a little bit more subtly and easily than your DSLR cameras. The last thing I like to bring, and this saves my thoracic spine so that I can paddle for longer and surf for longer, is this laptop stand. So it's an adjustable one, it changes heights, and I like to put my laptop on it on a table. I bring also my mouse and keyboard, and that just helps me stay upright and look after my thoracic and cervical spine as opposed to being hunched over like that. I find when I combine that poor posture that's involved in a typical laptop with surfing all day, it's awful on my neck and I get a lot of nerve impingement and things like that. Whereas if I look after my shoulders, keep my spine nice and straight by doing that, it's much, much better. So that's probably more for you digital nomads or people who like to stay checked in at home via the laptop. Now that we've covered all those things, why don't we next have a look at the different categories of surfboard that I would bring on the road with me, because I do think there are some fundamental categories that we should check off just to cover all our bases. Okay, so fundamentally I think we need to cater for average waves on our surf trip and then really good waves, okay? We don't want to be left in a situation where we've got access to really good waves, but we're on an inappropriate board. I've had this situation quite a lot over the years, and it's always been a barrier to getting some really good surf. Didn't want that to happen on this trip. So let's talk about the average or everyday waves to start with. I really love traveling with a mid-length. So this is my signature performance mid-length thruster. Mine particular one is in 6.5. You can see it's nice and chunky. Not only do I like to ride that if the surf's really small, I also like to ride that if I'm feeling fatigued. Okay, so the extra paddle that this offers is such a game changer if you just want to cruise. Or even if you're feeling sore in the joints or you've even got an injury but you still want to get in the water, just surfing on the mid-length I find is a more cruisy experience, good thing to have. Fundamentally just covers a lot of bases. I like to ride it as a 2+1 ongoing. But if the surf gets big, I can ride it as a thruster and it still goes super well. So that's a really good base. The next thing I like to have is a good wave board. Okay, so we'll go to the other end of the spectrum to start with. And on this particular trip, because I knew I was going to be here for a while, I brought 2 good wave boards. So I've got my schooner here, my JS schooner. And this is that board that I tried out last year before I went to overseas in Nicaragua. I find this is a really great board for good waves because it has a lot of meat in the chest, but it has a really refined tail. Okay, so you get a lot of paddle here, a lot of control here, especially with that rounded tail there. So I've been riding that when the surf gets solid, and it's been going really well. To be honest, I'm starting to feel I may need to actually approach step-up territory and get like a 6.4 or something like that. This is only a 5.11, but I'm thinking about maybe 6.4 is too much, maybe like a 6.2 or 6.3 in that space. I may go to something like the Forget-Me-Not from JS that I really liked as well, but the current one that I have is a bit small. The second good wave board that I have that's not as appropriate in big surf is this new model from Sharp Eye Surfboards, and it's a File 50. So this is the Kanoa Igarashi shortboard, signature shortboard, super rocket tail, works really well in good surf, starts to struggle a little bit in great surf. So I can ride that in, you know, say 2 foot waves to 4 foot waves, which is a lot of what you're going to surf, depending on where you go, of course. So that's been really cool, just to have a thruster in my quiver so that I'm not always on the quad. That one there is blending between the everyday surfboard and the big wave surfboard. So I'm almost covering some different tiers there. My everyday surfboard is still the FT quad. I'm really enjoying this, still the Philippe Toledo quad from Sharp Eye. I just find this goes in a wide variety of conditions. Probably goes better in smaller surf than the Kanoa model, and also holds itself in surf almost as big as the Kanoa model. Maybe not quite, starts to get a little bit squirrely. But across those, you have a really healthy quiver to bring on the road. I'd say at minimum you want 3 boards. You want a mid-length, something to cruise on. You want an everyday surfboard, so that you could put these ones in there, and then you want a good wave surfboard, okay? And that will tick off all the bases, and you'll be out there every single day. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this video helped you. We've actually written up this video as a blog post over on my website. The link for that is in the description below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let me know, have I missed anything in that list that I just went through? First aid kit, that's definitely something that I put in there as well. Didn't want to cover that today. Otherwise, guys, you can join me on Instagram at @CarlsBroccoli. I'll see you soon. I'm going surfing.